Since we are in holiday seasons, there may have a lot of different adventures that we want to roleplay or DM to our friends. So let's talk about particularly self-contained ones so that we can run in a single session and that don't need a lot of different preparation for that or a very long campaign as well. You may want to create your own adventure, or you may also have your own adventure created for that, but for this preparation and this video particularly, I will use adventure created by Luther Room, Chris Bissett, and it's the Breaker of Chains one, and so I will prepare it basing on that. And also you can find a link here or in the description of its DM guild, and then you can check it out. It's a great adventure. I've already read it more than once, and so let's get to it. As mentioned, I will focus on already built adventures, so not in creating a new one. But you also may find good advices here for if you are creating your own adventure for a one-shot as well. So the first thing to think about when running a one-shot self-contained adventure that is already built, so published adventure, read it. Read it a lot. And while you are reading it, take notes or print some stuff that will be useful for you when you are running it. Be prepared. And if there is any player here, please, if you know that your DM is running a already published adventure, do not read it beforehand. It will be better for you, for your DM, and also for your fellow players. For instance, Breaker of Chains is a very short adventure to read. It's supposed to be played between 3 and 4 hours, so if you are running a one-shot, plan accordingly. So plan for an adventure that can be run in 3 to 4 hours. Not more than that. A lot of players won't be able to focus if you have an adventure that is more than 3 or 4 hours. And also, if you are going to read the adventure, it's a published one, use an adventure with this size. It is condensed. So you have basically around 20 pages at most to read, and then you have everything that you need on that 20 pages. And print, again I will say that, print and make notes of what you think that it is important and you may need when you are running the adventure. Every time that I am running a one-shot, being it published or not, I prefer to have pre-built characters. It will speed up the game, and also the characters will be characters that I know, and so the adventure will make sense for these characters as well. So if you are running a published adventure, search for an adventure with pre-built characters. It will speed up the game, and also you can already copy the data from these characters to character sheets so that your players already have it readily to and promptly to use it when they arrive at the table. You may think that it's better for them to copy it because then they will know their characters, but when they are choosing them, they already know about the abilities that they will have and they will have to use during the short adventure that you are running. For instance, Breaker of Chains has a lot of very good characters created. You can check them out. They have awesome art with them. So that's also one of the reasons that I choose Breaker of Chains for preparing for this kind. It's a short adventure, it is self-contained, and it already has pre-built characters on it. Another tip that I can give to you is consider your players. So if you know your players beforehand, think in an adventure, a published adventure, or in building an adventure that will match these players' characteristics, what they like and what they dislike. For instance, Breaker of Chains is a gritty adventure and a deadly one, so I know that the players that I will be running it to, they like this kind of adventure. So if your players are new to the game, it's different than if they are experienced as well. So think about your players beforehand. What are their motivations, what they like and what they dislike, particularly in adventures as well. There is no point in having an adventure that your players will be uncomfortable with. This is the main part. Everyone is there to have fun, so they need to be comfortable and they need to like the experience as well. I mentioned considering your players as a tip, but it's also a very particular thing for new players. If you know that you are going to DM for a new group of players that they've never played the game, consider the level of the adventure that you are running. I would say 7th level is the limit, but the optimal one is for 5th level. So Breaker of Chains is of 7th level. I guess it is in the limit, but you also have rules in it to lower the difficulty so that it gets easier to run for groups of less players or for lower level as well. I will do a different video discussing about all the different things that you need to consider for players that never played the game and some tips for running games for them as well. Some of these tips are general, you can use in every session that you are running, every adventure, but this is a very particularly important for these kind of adventures. Hook your players well and hook them early, your players and your characters, so that you don't lose time with them roaming around and following wrong leads. Hook them very well to what you have prepared for them. For instance, in Breaker of Chains, you have them hooked very easily, and also you have a mode when they start following the correct track, they cannot go back. This is also great because then it helps to contain the adventure in the time that you have prepared for it. If you are DMing a one-shot, you already know how the adventure will probably go, and so prepare accordingly. Make all your handouts ready, and also you can prepare your minis accordingly, because if you follow the other rules, you have pre-built characters that you will know already probably how they will be, and also the monsters that your group will face off. So prepare them accordingly. Breaker of Chains does not have a very broad spectrum of monsters, and if you already saw my other videos, I will put some links in the description that I use paper minis, and for all the monsters that you find in Breaker of Chains, you have paper minis available, and I will put the links, and then it will make it much more easy for you to find them. Particularly about Breaker of Chains, it is an adventure with a lot of different traps, so read them carefully and prepare accordingly. But as I mentioned, read the adventure. I cannot stress that enough. For a one-shot, you cannot read too much of the adventure. You can read so many times that you will know that by heart, and it's the best thing for a one-shot, because if it's a one-shot self-contained one and you know that you have a time limit on it, so you want to finish it inside the scope that you have. Read it, prepare it, and I think that's it. I hope that this video is helpful to you in preparing for one-shots, and if you have any further question, comment, doubt, just post it down in the comments and I will try to address the best way as I can. Also, I am pretty sure that you know how internet works, so like the video, share it, comment, put it on social media, this kind of stuff. Additionally, I will be holding a giveaway. On the 21st, I will select randomly one of the participants on it. So you have to share this video on Twitter, retweet my tweet with that, and you also have to follow me and subscribe to the channel, and then I will randomly choose one of you to receive a Breaker of Chains copy. It's a great adventure for 7th level players. You can also adjust it for a little bit higher or lower difficulty. It's for 4 to 6 players ideally, and you probably will love it too when you see it. So without further ado, see ya!